how do you think women are portrayed in today's advertising?
They're definitely portrayed more of in a sexualized manner, obviously. It's very clear in a lot of ways.
I think if we talk about women denotes beauty, and that's what advertisers want to make sure that her beauty comes out in the screen. And definitely men get attracted by it, and women like to get beautiful too. But I would like to add that in today's scenario, like, more and more women are represented as sex objects. So.
Definitely, you have to have a certain image, obviously, to be in advertising, and you can see that in so many ways, and throughout the world even, it's kind of like that. So with women, it's definitely more sexualized. You have to look perfect.
How would you say that women are being objectivized?
See, there are few advertisements of perfumes or say some soap or even a car. Instead of looking more towards the product, they more concentrate on women. Like, everything is like they're advertising just women. The main product is just on side of it.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see a commercial and it'll show like a beautiful woman and a handsome guy, and you're watching and you don't know what they're selling.
Yes.
You know they're promoting this idea
I
of
saw
beauty.
some candies advertising, and I think maximum of their product, whether it's a men product, women product, or like a general object, women are just used as a product there instead of showing that thing.
It's eye-catching. They want to use what people want to see.
Yes.
Or what guys want to see. Do you see any stereotypes in today's advertising portrayal of women?
Yeah, just the whole kind of, obviously the whole damsel in distress, the dramatic look, or kind of it's always very serious, and they're always portrayed as kind of needy in a sense. Mm-hmm. And then there's, of course, you have to be skinny. You have to look a certain way, like ethnicity-wise, on many occasions. Yeah, there definitely is.
So, do you see any stereotypes?
Very less. I think women are more being used as a sex object instead of like, you can hardly see an advertising saying a women in doing some office work or like a family stuff, cooking food. Even if she cooks food, there also it shows something different. So yeah, I think so.
Do you think that today's advertisements are misleading?
Oh yeah, definitely. With airbrushing and stuff like that, I mean, in a way it's almost necessary for an advertiser to do it, because I guess at some point down the line they started doing that, and once one brand does it, everybody has to. And now it's become one of these things where it's necessary. You can't avoid it. Oh yeah, it goes really, really far, and I definitely don't agree with it, obviously. It's ridiculous, but it's the competition in the end. One brand wants to outdo another, and they'll do whatever they think will make them stand out. And obviously, people are catching on, and people are noticing, and it comes up on the news a lot, like how ridiculous it can be. And I think that's good, where at least, at some point, we're starting to see how bad it's getting. So hopefully, maybe they'll kind of rein in a little bit. And
I think so. Very often, I won't believe that all the products, whatever they are showing, will be, like very true. Like we have fairness creams. It's really not good. I mean, it is some sort of misleading. The science is different, and the way they show that, okay, in few weeks or in few months, it'll turn totally white. Those are really not possible. And besides this, while using the beauty products, they use the women and then they, by airbrush and something, make her look different, and which women wants to achieve it while using that product, which is generally not possible.
See any lack of representation of particular groups in these types of advertisements, i.e., minorities, people with disabilities, deaf people, anything?
Definitely people with disabilities and, deaf and blind people. You don't see them at all. I think it's getting a little better with ethnicity-wise. You're seeing more African Americans, Latinas, and people like that. I mean, obviously, it's still not as much as you see as Caucasian women. And, their skin's lightened, like you mentioned before. But there's definitely not any portrayal of disabled women at all, and that's bad.
Yeah, it's just kind of sad just because these people are out there and yet they're not being represented. But it's not just in advertising. You don't see them as much
nowhere.
in television, in movies. Usually if someone's in a wheelchair, it's the butt of a joke.
Yeah.
So,
or it's a documentary about how horrible her life is or something. And
exactly.
I mean,
it's putting them on the spot.
Yeah, it's not about just celebrating them as a person.
I think while people make an advertisement, they do have a target audience, and they basically, because of market, they'll concentrate on women, concentrate on young, healthy, with 6 abs men, and then children. So they really use them, but I think the products in the market are less for the minorities, considering minorities or disabilities person. So I don't think so as being an advertiser making that you should be showing them if you have product for some different segment. Mm-hmm. But in a way we can say that because the product for those groups are really less, they'll have less money from them, so they don't show them in the advertisement.
Does the portrayal of women in advertising encourage you to alter your appearance in any way?
About the only thing I think that makes me want to change my appearance, because I said before I don't really let myself be,
Influenced.
But influenced, yeah. But I want to be tanner. Sometimes I go to the tanning salon, but nothing major to the point where I'm changing my whole life just to look a certain way, because that's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. But sometimes I do fall into the tanning trap.
I told you I always get attracted whenever they show you something really good, really catchy, and I really go and try it. I'll go and look at it. I try on myself, especially the clothes, to see. But again, the comfortable matters to me. So if it is really good, I could change it.
Do you follow any particular fashion magazines like Vogue or any particular shows, bloggers, anything?
I never really got into that. I'm not really into reality TV as much. I do like What Not to Wear. I'll
What
watch
not
that
to
because
wear.
it's pretty entertaining. They're funny.
That's
They're
a funny one, but that's also I like What Not to Wear because that's more than just fashion. It's building these people's
Yes.
self-esteem. It's kind of like what Queer Eye for the Straight Guy did, like 5 years ago.
It's much deeper than just, oh, we're gonna slap some makeup on you and make you look good.
Yeah, or
You
we're
know?
just gonna give you a hairstyle and that's it. No, they give them a new wardrobe, but these women begin to see themselves in a whole different light and see that
They teach
can,
them how to see themselves in a different light as
it
well.
opens more than just a door. It gives them a whole new window into who they are, and they can embrace who they are as a woman and as a person. And usually everyone on that show, you see the confidence. It's like radiating off of them.
You can see from the beginning they're very, very, you know, kind of
Sullen.
Some of them are very, you know, quiet, and sullen. And then as time goes on, they're given these new outfits to wear, and they're shown what to wear. And you know, London, her name's London or Stacey London.
Stacey London.
Stacey London, she has them look in the mirror and tell themselves they're beautiful. She like forces them to do it like over and over sometimes.
Yeah.
And just that alone is so much. Like nothing, they could have done nothing else the entire show but tell them to do that. And that alone is so much, just change their whole worlds.
Yeah, it's something that
So-
everyone needs to do, especially if they do have low self-esteem. But even if you have high self-esteem, it's always good to look in the mirror and just say, like, you are beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't have to adhere to this image that's portrayed everywhere you look. Everyone needs to do that, though. That's what I think.
I agree. To recognize that there's this image being portrayed and that it's not required and that you're beautiful how you are and how you were made.
So you're from India. Are there any comparisons that you see or contrasts between American advertising and advertising in India?
Yes, it's not too much, but there is a difference. Every country has their own culture and traditions. So in India, even there, women are shown as a sex object, but in a limited manner. Mostly the advertisement are focused on the family values because, like in India, generally, you know, family culture is too much. We have joint family living, and women are not this much working as here in the US. So they'll show you women something related with, you know, family. So there it's a little bit different.
What do you want to see in future advertising?
Definitely more of the fair skin, obviously, because I like to be somewhat representative as well, even though I am more than others. But, you know, a wider representation in general would be very good. And like we said, with disabilities, people who have disabilities being celebrated rather than kind of hidden in the corner. And obviously limiting the airbrushing. Sure, we've got the technology for it, but why go overboard?
I would rather say, like, to portray a woman just not as a sex object, but I would really like to see a woman working as a doctor or as a business person who is having some power in that advertising instead of just being an object.
So you're more feminist. You want to see women more empowered.
Yes, I would rather say that. I think women seeing somebody like that having power and then using those products, that will a little bit affect the thinking of the women. While seeing it, they'll have some more confidence, and like the teenage, when they look at the advertising, they just think that they need to show themselves. So well, they will look at those advertising, they'll think that okay, they really need to become independent, be something, and you know, it will be something different.